What's up, everybody? 3x to the Lex right back at you with one more video. All right, let's get into it. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the Virtual Man build image. This is the Virtual Man show. Now, for you guys that don't know, the Virtual Man image is a custom built Raspberry Pi image. It's a 512 image and it's loaded with content. And I mean loaded, like super loaded with content. Just tons of games, tons of platforms. It blows the original arcade guys build out of the water. Like, once you get this, there's no going back. First of all, big shout out, big shout out to Art in the chat. He's a commenter in the chat, and he gave me a big hand with getting this set up and getting this ready to go. So shout out to Art in the chat. Much respect to him, and he definitely helped me out with that, so I appreciate it. Again, shout out and respect to Art. That said, let's get into it. So, what is the Virtual Man image? The Virtual Man image is going to be an image that you'll be able to find online. You're going to need a 512 SD card. It's highly recommended you go with Samsung, and I'm suggesting that you go with Samsung. You might want to go with the Evo card. That's what I went with. I believe that's the fastest card they have. And the transfer and access speeds is just top notch. Like moving through the menus, starting games, it's just razor sharp. It's even more responsive than the SanDisk card that comes with the arcade guys build. I'm really impressed with this card, and more importantly, I'm really impressed with this build. This amount of content rivals my Hyperspin PC. To be honest, guys, you don't even need a Hyperspin PC or a CoinOps PC anymore. This build is it. This is the build. Like, there's so many more games on this. It's like almost triple the content, if not more, than the standard arcade guys build. Like, every platform has way more games. Naomi is up to 33 games. Nintendo DS is included in this build. Over 250 games. Neo Geo CDs in this build. They have Super Nintendo CD. Open boards in this build. Over 60 games. Custom fan-made games from a lot of fighting games and beat-em-ups. Extremely cool. You want to check that out. PlayStation Portable has 131 games, and they look and play phenomenal too. I've tested a lot of PlayStation Portable games, and I really like what I see. PlayStation Portable mini games are included. PlayStation section alone has over 400 games, and it's just a phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal selection of games. Like, pretty much all of the great PlayStation 1 video games are in this selection. Just a wealth of content. Everything I've tried has worked. I would say, oh yeah, I want to show you a game. Yeah, Einhander is included in here. And for those that follow my channel will know that I have referenced this game when talking about other 2D shooters a lot. In my opinion, this is one of the great 2D shooters. It's a top 5 2D shooter on my list, if not higher, maybe top 3. Phenomenal game, one of the great PlayStation games. It's just, I'm gonna have to do another video on this game because I can just completely geek out talking about this game, man. This is one of my favorite games ever. It looks great on this cab. It's been upscaled. It has an upscale look to it now. And it just looked and plays phenomenal on this cabinet. And it's a fantastic game, and it runs amazing. So you definitely want to check that out. Another game on here I want to talk about real quick before I back out of this section is Tobal 2. Now, Tobal 2 is an extremely rare and obscure PlayStation 1 game. The original is the sequel to Tobal number 1. Tobal 2 did not come to America. The first game, Tobal number 1, did. This is a phenomenal fighting game. In fact, I will go so far to say that at the time when this game came out, it was probably the premier fighting game on the system. And it's kind of crazy that it never came to America. But, I mean, at that time, it was just stiff competition. Tekken was coming up. Virtual Fighter was coming up. Dead or Alive was coming on the scene. Toshinden was popular then. This was before Bloody Roar and a lot of other games even got established. At the time when this game came out, it was probably the best fighting game that was out, period. Street Fighter Alpha was popular. SNK had its stuff. But this game was way ahead of the competition in its time. It's a phenomenal game. I'm going to have to make a separate video about Tobal 2 because this whole video could turn into Tobal 2. It's an amazing game. It still looks and plays phenomenal. If you're a fan of fighting games, hey man, you definitely want to check out Tobal 2. Like, it's an older game now, but the look and gameplay and the grappling system, this game was just way ahead of its time, and it actually addressed a lot of things in combat fighting games that had not been addressed at that time, like close hand-to-hand maneuvering, tussling in an actual fight, things that fighting games strangely went away from and turned back into just strikes versus strikes and trying to counter strikes. So it's a phenomenal game, man. I'm gonna make a separate video because I'm getting sidetracked already talking about it. It's that good. All right. Anyway, all other platforms have a ton of games. Naomi has a ton of games in the Naomi section. It's got about 33 games now compared to like 16 or 17 on the Arcade Guys bill. Everything I've tested so far has pretty much worked. Some games are going to require more mapping than further control mapping than what has already been done initially. But other than that, everything seems to be working pretty good. Project Justice is on here. Great game. Street Fighter Zero Upper is on here. Just phenomenal list of games. The Dreamcast section is like just loaded. And they even have more modern Dreamcast games. And Dreamcast had a short life in America, but in Japan, it lasted probably another 10 years over there. And by 2001, it was done in America for new releases. And but games like Gunlord, Fast Striker, and Volgar, like games even now are still being like made by smaller companies for Dreamcast. So all of the great Dreamcast games are included on here. Fighting Vipers 2, Hydro Thunder, Ikaruga, of course. Just all of the great games of the Dreamcast era is included. So you definitely want to check that out. Even Psychic Forces on here. So yeah, they took it there with this build. Psychic Forces on there, man. Wow. So yeah, you know, definitely check out the Dreamcast section. The Daphne Games are here. Now, all 10 of the Daphne Games are here. You got Dragon's Lair, Dragon Lair 2, Galaxy Rangers, Space Ace, Super Don Coyote. Yeah, it's just, man, you know, all of the Laserdisc games from Daphne are included. So, you know, definitely check this out, man. And, you know, a lot of guys act about the Daphne games, so here they are. Yeah, also they have each game sectioned off per certain games have multiple upon multiple versions, like Sonic, Street Fighter, Zelda. They have them sectioned off, so you can check that out. The shmups, shoot 'em up games are sectioned off. Racing games are sectioned off. Also, the Nintendo NES Classic and the SNES Classic are included, and they have specific games on like the SNES Classic that weren't included in the standard Super Nintendo games, like unreleased games like Star Fox 2. Star Fox 2 never came out, so it was canceled. And eventually they kept working on Star Fox 64 until that came out. So you definitely want to check out Star Fox 2 because it was like a finished game that never released. So that's included. Just, you know, it's just a wealth of content. I'm gonna have to start making some more videos real soon, showing off each of the new sections. I wanted this to be more of a general overview of what you're getting per section. I'll have more videos real soon going through each section and showing games that are on this build that aren't on the Arcade Guys build. Some of my favorite games ever are included. So I'll go through that, showing that off. And hey man, if you got this cabinet, go get that Virtual Man build, man. This is the ticket. This is the thing to get. It's the hot ticket right now. I've been hearing mixed opinions about it earlier in the year. A lot of stuff wasn't working, etc., etc. Just stuff I had heard. I didn't confirm it though. But after getting this updated version, I'm a believer. I'm very satisfied with it, and it's an amazing build. Again, shout out to Art for the help of getting this thing set up. But hey man, this Virtual Man build with this cabinet, with these two combined now, it's blowing everything in the game out of the water for the price. Like, I mean, what you're getting with this cab combined with the Virtual Man build, I mean, you get this cabinet, spend $100, get a good card from Samsung, and download this build and install it on your cabinet, and hey, you're good to go, man. Like, the cabinet is just loaded now. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll be back real soon showing off games from the Virtual Man build. 3x to the Lex out, and I'm going to get with you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.